Don't worry, guys. We're going to talk about the Don't Worry. Yeah, this is the last episode of season. That's the first season. I had no bit right there. I don't know if you had something. There really wasn't anything here, was there?
There wasn't really anything. And I've been hinting at this for like weeks. It's
Yeah.
like we're kind of going out on a whimper here as far as season 1 is concerned.
A little bit. I mean, but we kind of talked about it before where it was like, they didn't really, we're going in production order, but this is still the broadcast order. It ends with this episode, does it? Right? Yeah. So, I mean, they probably just had no idea, and they just was like, when it comes to these, it's not like it's it's going to leave a cliffhanger and season 2 is going to pick right back up. I mean, it's Batman. It's not a 2-part or anything like that. So, hey, we're going out with the Don't Worry Men.
Well, and the thing about it really is that this isn't, we think of a season of television like, the way we think about now, which is this highly like serialized, like the season has an arc and all of this. It's like, no, this was just an order of 65 episodes.
That's pretty much
make
what it is.
65 episodes.
Yeah.
And because I mean, let's look at Batman the Animated Series. Look at the 65 episodes that we've discussed. There's not this overlaying arc. It's episodic television. Yeah. Every episode, like there's threads here or there,
little callbacks.
Right. Yeah. But it's not telling this overarching story. So yeah, it's just really funny to think this is the season finale, folks.
Season finale right here. But cheers to the season finale. I poured a little bit of bourbon and was like, why not do it? Cheers.
No, I ain't got any bourbon.
Yeah, I figured out the conversation we were having. But welcome to Batman the Fan-imated stream, guys. Like I said, this is the season 1 wrap up, and it's not the Don't Worry, man. I think I have Don't Worry, Darling in my brain. That's why I said that Don't Worry.
Yeah,
it's the word. Man.
Hey, by the way, before we get started on with the episode, though, we always want to make sure that we acknowledge some things. Mm. So, happy birthday, Mark Hamill.
Yes,
today's his birthday.
Our Joker.
Yeah, absolutely. And just because it's DC related, let's wish what would have been a happy 70th birthday to Christopher Reeve.
There you go. That's right. That's absolutely true. I saw that on the timeline too. So cheers to them. And especially more. I mean, he left us way too soon, man. Christopher, did you ever see what was it? The Children of the Corn remake that he was in, or was it the remake, or what was it? What movie was that? I don't know. We don't have to talk about that. I was going off on a tangent already right at the beginning. But
wow, is that like a record now? Like,
what is it? I forgot what movie it was. He was in a remake of something. I don't know if it was Children of the Corn. I forgot exactly what it was. But anyways, welcome everybody. And one of the first questions I want to ask you, Scott, does your wife know about the Darkseid statue yet?
Hell no, she doesn't.
Yes. I love it. Oh.
Why would I mean? I don't think you people. Do you not believe me when I tell you she doesn't come down here? Yeah. And I think even Chris Wong Swenson even asked me, he's like, does she even notice like when you get something new? It's like, no, all she sees is a giant collection of shit down here. I mean,
that's so awesome. I love that. I just love that because I know some people were a teacher right here said I consider a few people were worried about Zach Perry. Yeah, there's that. But we're talking about that. And then good question right there, Amari. What's an ancient Mayan witch doctor doing on a Gotham skyscraper? That is true. What's going on, Ryan?
Is this one of those Rico questions?
It kind of is. What's going on, Jason? We got Rerun. We got Zed right here. Always good. Yeah, Matt Hatter really knows how to roll the R's. That's right, he does, doesn't he? Yo, what's up? Yeah, what's Scott opening tonight? Jose says, nothing tonight. We're just gonna unbox this episode to wrap up. And we wanted to let everybody know at the top of the show is like so the next thing that we will be discussing is Batman Mask of the Phantasm, the movie, of course, the great fantastic movie, but you're gonna have some time to watch it because the next 2 Saturdays got some things happening. Birthday is coming up. And so I got a couple things planned for the next couple of weekends. So the weekend, what did we say? October 15th.
Right? October 15th.
Okay.
And please note, we said Saturday. because it's a movie and it's going to take a little bit longer. Mm-hmm. We are not going to do our normal Sunday night deal because we're not going to talk about Mask of the Phantasm in 45 minutes. That would be an absolute travesty.
No, you cannot do that. So So yeah, expect that. You got plenty of time to watch that movie and jot down some notes. If you maybe we'll do something. Maybe we'll have like a question thing or something. I don't know. We'll figure.
Yeah, well, there needs to
Yeah.
like it's gotta be special. I mean, we're talking about Mask of the Frickin' Phantasm.
Exactly. We'll figure something out. But we got 2 weeks. Like I said, we'll be taking a 2-week break from the stream. And we'll come back with a bang when it comes to that banger of Mask of the Phantasm for sure. So, and I see you guys' excitement out there. But right now we're gonna talk about the Worry Man, which yes, it's just like I was totally going into this. I was like, what is this? And looking at the title card, I went, which one? And then when it started, I think you probably caught it more than me. And then all of a sudden it hit me probably about 5 minutes in. I went, oh, this is a Hatter episode. I was like, what is? I'm like, where is this going? And then when the dolls made their appearance, I went, oh, that's right. Jeez. And then it just hit me right there. I was like, oh, good old Jarvis coming back, right?
Oh yeah. Absolutely. I mean, when it starts off, though, it's like, okay, so we see Veronica Vreeland.
Yeah.
First time we've seen her since Birds of a Feather.
Yep. And then of course she's it's at this little party of a bunch of rich people that are just all stuck up and talking about the rainforest. But do they really care about the rainforest, Scott? I don't think they do.
Rachel Gould would say no, they do not. Yeah. But you notice how they're all like ridiculously dressed, like they're all going on a safari. I was just like, this is so pretentious as hell right now. I love how Bruce Wayne's standing back like in a tuxedo going, yeah, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, I mean, he had some kind words to say that, hey, at least she's she's got her inheritance that she's utilizing at least for some kind of good. But yeah, you could tell that. And he's like standing next to another dude who's running like a security company. I think his name is Hayden, who's like, I mean,
Hayden.
Yeah. And he's just very much, I mean, he's worried about his own company. So of course you hear a lot of the word worry. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Okay. Did you recognize the voice?
It sounded familiar, but I didn't look. Who is it?
Oh, dude, really? Yeah. I didn't even have to look at the credits for that.
Oh, damn it. I feel bad.
You should. I'm going to tell you. You're going to feel horrible when I tell you
who it is. Who is it?
LeVar Burton.
Okay. I almost just said that right now too. You know what's funny is like as you were busting my balls right now, I was like going, watch, it's gonna be like LeVar Burton. Why didn't I should have just blurted it out. Is it LeVar? God damn it, man. I'm mad at myself. Because I was like, I recognized the voice, but then I just didn't, because he's not big time in the episode, he's not like, consistently throughout the episode, he shows up like another time. But I was like, damn it. I knew I recognized that voice.
And then he's a voice of one of the goons.
He's also
and then he's a voice of one of the goons.
Is he really? Geez. There you go. Yeah. They utilize Mr. Burton right there. But so obviously he's worried, and this is where these little tiny little dolls that Veronica got when she was on her little adventure that she found from a dude, just selling them, saying that, yeah, you stick them under your pillow, you sleep well, everything's all good. It's going to bring good vibes. Apparently it has. But of course, Bruce is like, he's kind of just like, are you serious? Seriously? Okay. But he's letting her talk about it, and then of course, Hayden over here is like, well, shit, I might as well try it. Why not? Because I'm a worrying mess.
Well, it's always kind of funny to me too. It's like, this is one of those weird, inconsistencies or dissonance I have sometimes with Batman, especially a Batman who at this point, like, we've just had Rachel Gould with the Lazarus Pit and that kind of thing. Because, traditionally Batman is depicted in the comics as I don't know if he's an agnostic or a straight up atheist in traditionally in the comics, but he's always so very logical and science oriented.
Skeptical
and I'm like,
as hell.
Skeptical as hell. And I'm like,
he's Dana Scully.
But you, right. Yeah. Very good.
Yeah. He's like a Dana Scully. Yeah.
But it's like, just like Scully in the X-Files, it's like, how do you stay that way with all the shit you've seen? I mean, seriously.
I know. Exactly. There's like, I just like, it just hit me like right when you were talking about that right now, how like, it's like, you've seen some shit. So maybe just open up your brain a little bit that maybe there's something right here. But yeah, it's like similar to Dana, where it's like Mulder's always just like saying, and she just goes, well, and it's like, well, wait a minute. Don't you remember there's that one time where the time where you guys made a big long movie, you were literally in an alien spacecraft and an alien was going to be starting to grow inside you at one point. It's like, you can't still be skeptical all the time, but you're right. Yeah. He just kind of plays it off like that. And then of course, when you see the, I guess like the windows up there, the sky window, whatever the hell, the moon, whatever, you see like somebody, you see a cape and you see like this witch
called
doctor.
A skylight, Dave.
Skylight. There you go. I was like, it's been a weekend. Okay. But yeah, just a little bit. But yeah, we see this like witch doctor looking dude who's like swinging he's up there on the top, and of course finally, I mean, Bruce doesn't see it at first. I love it how it's like you kind of just see him, like you see like the shadow of him, you see the cape. Bruce doesn't really see it at first, but then eventually of course he does, and then I gotta make the rounds, Veronica, sorry, and he's got to just like do his thing, and of course we know what the thing is getting in that bat suit quickly.
Yeah, he gets up on the roof and gets changed like really quick. I'm gonna say that was a little fast.
I know. I'm kind of wondering, like, where did he have that stashed when it came? Because I don't think they're at it. Was this hosted at any Wayne building? Probably not.
This is one of those situations that I feel like a Batman sometimes is basically like in a Superman situation where the costume is just like permanently underneath whatever he's wearing.
Yeah, it's got to be on. I mean, he's wearing the tux, so it does make sense that that's the case. And then of course, he approaches him and takes him on, and I love how like he throws like this, like I guess like this ball that's got some weight to it, and it misses him, but then it ricochets and hits him right in the back. That had to hurt a little bit. You could actually feel like.
Well, it kind of reminded me of like a croquet ball.
Yeah. There you go. Croquet. Man, I haven't played that since I was a child. But yeah, it probably has some kind of, something like that, because when it hits his back, he fucking feels that thing. Feels it big time. Ouch.
Well, he also like throws like the big axe, and it's really cool when Batman like grabs it out of midair, and then he's actually doing pretty well against this witch doctor, which I will go ahead and admit, while it's very cliche looking, I do appreciate that the episode later gives an explanation that this is not being culturally insensitive, that actually like there's a legitimate explanation for why he's dressed up in such a ridiculous outfit.
Exactly. Yeah, they do explain it, because it's like why? Yeah, I mean, and then of course it begs the question: why is an ancient Mayan on top of skyscrapers? It's like what? Yeah, why is this guy here? I mean, and then of course the guy's about to he climbs up on a gargoyle and he's about to leap off the building. Of course, Batman stops him, and then yes, the axe or the hatchet or whatever you want, he just throws it into the party, which then cuts the rope of that big huge mask thing, that big huge head thing, whatever the hell you want to call it. And of course everybody in the party is he's got to save him. So Batman of course uses that strength of his to make sure that people don't get clobbered by that thing, but two people almost do in the hallway. You see that?
Yeah. Well, also the fact that when he shoots his grappling hook, one little quibble I have here. Somehow the grappling hook goes in one eye, out the other, and like does a complete 180 to turn around. I'm like, it's not a batarang.
What are you talking about? It's got a mind of its own. It's like a creature. It's like a serpent. It's
not the scorpion thing from the W.S. Anderson movie from the 90s. Okay.
It's not a scorpion's harpoon that he shoots out of his wrist that can maybe bend around or something like that. First Mortal Kombat movie did that. But anyways, but at least he saves the day. Almost, there's, like I said, those two people in the hallway almost get it when it crashes through the wall. But hey, they're fine. We're all good. And then of course, we get to the Batcave. Or
before we get to the Batcave,
yeah.
Of course, Batman goes looking at the gargoyle. He's looking for the witch doctor. How is that witch doctor hanging? Like what is he actually like?
Well, okay, so I saw that on his costume. He's got some claws, I guess.
Okay.
There's some like I saw that, but they were like on top. which is weird. So I don't know if he like maybe turned him around and hooked him into the gargoyle, and maybe there was something around his feet or his shins that he was, yeah, because he very much does like a Spider-Man thing where it's just like, like when Harry Osborn looks out the balcony, he's just like, it's like almost that shot where he's underneath and you don't see him. So yeah, it's pretty interesting, but I think that's how he was doing it.
Okay. I'll accept that headcanon.
Okay. That's the best. I think that's what they were trying to go for. But yeah, so we don't go to the Batcave. We actually just we're at Wayne Manor, I guess. And Bruce is just talking about that, he's in his robe and stuff like that. And then of course Alfred finds a little doll and then just, explains like the little doll to him. And then Alfred just decides, hey, why not? Let's just put it under Bruce's pillow. And then we all know, like, oh, something bad's going to happen there. And, well, at first, Bruce comes into the office very chipper, whistling, he's got a hat on. That's different,
I was about to say, Bruce in a fedora. Yeah. That's an interesting look there.
Yeah, I was like, that was the first time we've seen that. Maybe he was just feeling it. He was like, you know what? It's a fedora kind of day. That kind of day. I'm feeling kind of chipper and, like, different today, so why not? And sure enough, I mean, obviously he's got his I don't know, secretary, I guess you could say, who is basically just, I love how she's talking on the phone. And then we got this briefcase, and I was just kind of going, I don't remember this part. I was just going,
see, I did remember that part.
Yeah, I did remember this part.
$20 million.
Yes, 20. Yeah, there's no way that $20 million is going to fit in a briefcase. But whatever. We're not looking at those little people.
Very large.
Yes, very large bills. Very, very large bills. Geez, did they make 100,000? Anyways, no, but so she does that, and then Bruce is just kind of like, you see what's in there, and then he just opens up his window, puts it on the edge, and we're like, all right, what? Very interesting. And then of course you see somebody swing by who's not wearing the same costume as the witch doctor. Now it's kind of like a cheetah looking, I don't know.
Yeah, cheetah leopard kind of deal going.
So we see that, and then of course, when that all happens, like and then when she comes in and she's just like, why did you want me to do that? And he's like, has no idea what the hell she's talking about. Like all of a sudden just the money didn't exist. What briefcase, what money? That's when I think that's when it more clicked. I was like, oh yeah, this is a fucking Hatter movie or Hatter episode. Maybe it was more then that it really clicked. Maybe it wasn't 5 minutes in. It was probably like whatever this was, probably like 7 minutes in or something like that. But yeah, I think that's when it clicked. I was like, oh yeah, Hatter. Of course it's Hatter. Why wouldn't it be Hatter?
What's really funny, though, is that I realized later on that if you paid very close attention to the thumbnail on HBO Max, the thumbnail gives it away.
Does it? Oh, yeah. I didn't even look at that. I don't think I even looked at that. I think I just clicked on the episode and just started playing it. So, yeah, the HBO Max, it's weird because HBO Max, when you look at some of the thumbnails they use, sometimes it's like it makes it hard for me to find the episode. I'm like, I'm looking for one thing, and they're like, the thumbnail is like something different that I wasn't looking for. So, yeah, HBO Max and their thumbnails are interesting. So, yeah, so all that's been happening, and then let's see, 20 million, and he had no memory of it. And then Bruce, not only, let's see, oh fuck, I kind of messed up my notes here. Where do we go from here? I think
okay, so after that, because he sees the guy take the suitcase and swing away, and Bruce, of course, goes grabbing for it. That's when we cut to this is when we cut to the Batcave, and they're watching the news report of Hayden Sloan being taken away for embezzlement, and there's this whole news story showing all these socialites around Gotham who have been mysteriously taking money away from their companies, and Bruce is up there with Hayden and a couple of other rich snobs.
$100 million worth, right? That's what they said on the news.
Yeah, I think total between the four.
Between all of them. So a lot of weird things are like happening. And then of course, and then we got Veronica, who's on like a yacht, just out there.
Was it a yacht?
Or a boat,
like a ferry.
Yeah, it could have been like that. Yeah, might have been something like that. And then she's got like a big, huge, bag that's got something in it. She's about to throw it overboard, but luckily Batman shows up and is like, "What are you doing here?" And then sure enough, it's like the same thing. She's not feeling well. She's feeling a little woozy. And we all know that because she mentioned at the opening that she doesn't just have these dolls underneath her pillow at night. She wears them constantly, like on her hair, like on her ponytail. So she's constantly being, something's going on with these dolls. And is it actually something, or is it technological? Well, if you clicks that it's Mad Hatter, you're like, oh, well, we know what it's
microchips.
Yeah, microchips. That's what it is. Fucking microchips. Damn it. But yeah, so he figures that out. And basically what these microchips are doing is, obviously you're sleeping well, but something's happening during your sleep where it's making you more susceptible to hypnotic, something, another like sound waves or whatever, to make you just do things that you shouldn't be doing, like, taking $20 million in cash and putting it on a windowsill. Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah, well, of course, then when Batman's there, then a couple of, more tribal-looking goons show up to take the bag, and Batman fights them off, ends up ripping the back of the cloak of one of them, which I'm going to bring up later, because that was a cool... I mean, this is a Paul Dini written episode, and a little underwhelming for what we expect from a Paul Dini episode, I'm going to admit, but there was a cool thing that gets mentioned later that we'll bring up. But of course, then he grabs the cloak, they run off, they open it up. They find all these Vreeland family jewels inside.
She's like, why did my jewels get here? She's all surprised and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. But then he, of course, asks her about, the trip to Central America. And she talks about how, there's a funny little man who she got the dolls from.
Yeah.
He was,
I know.
Really big hat. And it was like, did he have an English accent?
Yes, exactly. And that's where, of course, Batman starts figuring it out. And so then we get a lot of that. She's gonna do and then we figure out, and of course he takes like the microchips, and this is where we get to the Batcave, and he's kind of explaining it to Alfred, looking at the little microchip and just kind of saying like what happens and everything. And then of course Alfred feels terrible because he put the doll underneath his pillow, but it's just Alfred was looking out for Bruce. He thought maybe, hey, Bruce, he has, let's face it, it's Bruce Wayne, he has nightmares, he probably has trouble sleeping sometimes, so why not? But yeah, so he felt bad for that. And then of course we finally get to where Mad Hatter is in his new little hideout, and of course the goons show up, but of course they don't have the jewels. So at first he's doing like that whole thing where he's just talking to himself and so happy with other people's money. I love it when there's coins too, not just it's like very Scrooge McDuck or
very Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah, it's just like coins and stuff like that, not just dollar bills. So yeah, it just kind of gave me that little vibe right there. But of course he gets mad. And then, yes, this is where he brings up, because they talk about how Batman came in and prevented them from getting the jewels from Veronica. And then he gets pissed. And then he notices that the, like you said, the little garb right there, like it was ripped. So he mentions that too. And he goes, well, now Batman's just going to find us because it's Batman.
Right. And I love the fact that Mad Hatter is intelligent enough to go, Batman can use something like that, and it's going to bring him right here. Yeah. I love the idea that I love it when Batman's villains are smart enough to know all he needs is that, and that's going to be enough to lead him directly to where we are. And I think that's just a cool thing for Jarvis to realize. It just struck me. It's a weird thing to strike me, but that's what I'm here for. I'm here for the weird stuff.
No, I'm right there with you, because I like that too. Because when you actually saw that happen, if you're watching, you're immediately going, "Oh, that little tear that Batman got, that little piece. He's a detective. He's gonna figure out where that guy's going just from that little piece." So to have the Mad Hatter go, "Well, shit, man, look what you did. You tore the piece. He's going to find us." And like, so as an audience member, you're going, hey, look at that. You're doing the same thing. And like, hey, see, Jarvis knows. Yeah, it is a nice little thing to have that connection with. So that I thought that was pretty cool too. And then of course, Batman figures it out, obviously he knows. And it's the Great Eastern Costume Company. No,
I always love the fact that he just said that off the top of his head like that. Like, of course it would be. It's very I'm going to be honest. It feels a little 66 the way that Adam West would just randomly like spout out some random piece of information. It's like it must be.
Like, wow, did you frequent this place as a kid, Bruce? I mean, because it's abandoned now, obviously. And then, of course, he goes, a great place for the Mad Hatter to have a new hideout. And it's like, yeah, absolutely does. And, and then once we get here, this is actually the clip I wanted to play because I thought this was kind of cool because when he shows up, you get like these, statues or dummies or stuff of
Batman. There's some puppets and there's some like mannequins and it's
of
weird
Batman's Rogues Gallery. We get the Rogues Gallery, and it's kind of this is probably my favorite part of the episode because it's kind of creepy, especially when you see the Jokers, and Harley Quinn probably is even creepier than that, just because she's like full on puppet on strings. But yeah, this is what I wanted to show right here.
I knew you were coming.
Look at all that. That's creepy. Clayface, you got everybody right there. Scarecrow. Come on, that's creepy as hell.
That's the shot from the thumbnail.
Yeah, that was the shot. Yeah, you're right. You got Penguin right there. Got the awesome score.
How is Batman like a donut shop? They're both filled with holes.
And he does a little Riddler, riddle thing, as that's happening. Jesus Christ. See, I mean, this is creepy right here. That's weird.
Let's be honest, marionettes are creepy anyway.
Yes. And then that right there is just like, what is happening? This is a scene out of Batman's Nightmare right here. And then, look, I love that shot right there. A little kind of slow shot of him like getting out of the way.
Oh, yeah, the slow-mo selfie.
Yeah, I just thought that was really cool. And then, of course, some of these guys are real and it fools Batman right there. And as we continue on, but I just thought that was really cool that Jarvis like set it up with, Rogues Gallery members. And yeah, the Harley and Joker part, that's something out of Batman's Nightmares right there. You better believe. So, but yeah, he gets fooled by those guys. And, let's see where we at. Yeah, the Jack in the Box. Yeah. The goons. Yeah. And then, of course, Jarvis wanted, when they get him, and obviously, they knock him in the head. God, how many times does Batman get that knock to the back of the head? Jeez.
God, the amount of concussions that guy has got to have. I mean, more than an NFL player.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, there's got to be some kind of protocol for him, man. I mean, he's going to have some of that CTE as he gets older. But and then, of course, Jarvis does his whole thing, that villain speech of how this all came to be. So we get a little flashback of when he met this witch doctor or whatever. And yeah, that's what you were talking about earlier.
I'm sorry. Every time you say witch doctor, the chipmunks go in my head. And
Really?
No, because did you ever see the first Chipmunk movie?
I think I saw pieces of it, but I never really. Yeah, you're talking about like the live action one with Jason Lee.
No. I'm talking about the animated one.
I probably did a long time ago, but I don't remember it. Yeah.
See, I saw it in theaters when I was a kid, and it's the one like they're going like on a world tour race with like the.
Okay, I think I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they go into like some native village, and they end up singing the whole ooh ee ooh ah ah ching chang wada bing bang.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. I found the witch doctor, and witch doctor said to me, "I'm sorry. Every time you say witch doctor, that song is popping into my head. There's my tangent for the evening.
You just brought back like some fucking a memory rush right now. Jeez, because I was all into the Chipmunks. Christmas time, I always had that Chipmunks album on all the time. Christmas time. Sorry. Anyways, we're not gonna go on a Chipmunk tangent right here, but man, you just brought up some freaking old memories right there. That was great. And I can totally see that. What about a bing bang? God, that's going to be in my head for the rest of the night. Thank you, Scott. Thank you.
My work here is
done. See, that's a good. Jeez. All right, that's all we got, folks. Now, but yeah, we get a little backstory, and like you said, it's not like just some dude from Gotham that was dressed up in this, native garb that you were, it's actually somebody that he brought to here, but of course, he kind of brought unwillingly. It's still really bad what he did, but the other guys, of course, are just goons from Gotham. Just whatever, and they're just here. And he even I love how he just, and it's funny too because obviously they're caught under the whole spell, the technology, like whatever's in their their garbs and whatever the hell. So he just talks straight up shit about them. Like, yeah, they're nothing. They're just goons from Gotham.
They're riffraff.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. But of course that bites him in the ass, later on when, because first off, and then this is what I love about this episode too, because I of course made the note, but obviously they're going to be putting Batman into a guillotine, and as soon as like he gets in there and the thing comes down, leg day again, guys. Never skip leg day.
Oh, and before then, one, I love how you pronounce it the British way.
Yeah, it's guillotine.
Because you pronounce it guillotine.
Yeah, guillotine. Yeah.
The French way is guillotine.
Yeah, guillotine.
Yes.
Just double.
Yeah, but I was how the British pronounce all the letters.
Yes, that's true. Guillotine, whatever.
But it's cool though, by the way, because it is exactly. But since it is Lewis Carroll, it is worth noting that what Mad Hatter is quoting, the 1-2-1-2 Vorpal blade. That is a very famous Lewis Carroll poem called the Jabberwocky.
Nice.
And he's quoting almost an entire stanza from the poem. So I just thought I literally like just taught this poem like a week and a half ago.
Did you really?
Going, I know that.
Wow.
Yes, I did. I really did.
Cool. I would have, yeah, of course. I would have never guessed that. But yeah, that's cool. Jabberwock. Isn't there like a dance group called like the Jabberwockies or something like that? I don't know. That name just was like ringing in my,
Well, obviously it's an allusion to Lewis Carroll because he wrote the poem.
Okay, that works. But yeah, like I said, I'd put leg day, stopping the guillotine. Like, because he is like, how is he gonna get? I mean, we get that cool little shot of like it coming down and like he, the surprise, the frightened bat face, and then he just, core day too, by the way, because he had to, you lift your legs, stop the damn thing.
Oh yeah.
Again, that's why you can't skip any of that, guys. You got to work that core, and then of course he triggers like this little, sonar, like a sound to just kind of like break the hypnotic spell that these guys are on, and they start taking out like what the hell, like where am I? What are we doing here? And then again, it's like, yeah, don't talk shit to these guys because you never know when you might lose your control over them. There, Jarvis, dummy. And sure enough,
and they remember too.
Yes. So they're just like, they basically are like, really, yeah, okay, yeah, you're gonna talk shit about us, fine. Well, but then there's a little interesting thing that happens when he fools Jarvis. Does he have like an extra cowl and cape? Because I even wrote that. I was like, does he have two? He had two because he puts it on like something that, has pointy ears. And of course, Jarvis shoots at it because Jarvis, to get out of this whole situation, I love how where his gun is. He just takes out of his hat and it's on a spring in his hat,
That is kind of cool though. I have to give it because it's like a little danger.
Yeah, danger. Yeah. And it's just like, that's how he's going to get out of it. Obviously, get away from me. And I thought that was a little kind of cool, like how he had it there. But yeah, of course, when he's walking through and Batman and he shoots at it. And then all of a sudden Batman swings in and takes him out. And I'm like, wait, so we had, or maybe, and I'm not kind of going like, well, we're at a place.
A costume shop. Yeah.
So I'm like, was there a bat cape and cowl flying around? How long has this place been abandoned? I don't know. So I kind of overthought it a little bit, maybe, but I don't know. It was kind of interesting that because other times that Batman has used his cape and cowl to distract somebody, we see that he has taken it off, or he's got to put it back on. This time, not so much. So maybe they were just thinking, people will just think it's part of the costume place. Maybe
because it wasn't a cowl. It was just a mannequin head, and he taped ears.
Oh, okay.
To it. So the only part of it that he needs is the cape. And I can imagine a cape like that hanging around in the costume company.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Because I for some reason I thought there was also a cowl too that was on top of the head that had it, and it just fell off when you're right. It was just the cape. So that's probably what it was. Well, there you go. We solved it, guys. We solved it. We solved where this other extra little cape came from. So, and then and I was like, he had two, and then of course, that was pretty much it. He gets taken out, and then obviously when Mad Hatter, Mr. Jarvis, is going to be put back into Arkham. And
by the way, when he gets taken out, of course, department
Yeah.
sign falls on top
Yes.
of him. I mean, chink.
Yeah, that's right. Just a nice little at the end there, like of course the hat department. That's what's going to take him out. Yeah, it's good stuff. And then of course the the witch doctor or the shaman or what do they call him? Shaman.
It's
Yeah,
shaman.
there you go. He he basically, Bruce is like, well, we're going to put the money back into the company, but we're going to take some out and send the dude back. He was basically kidnapped. Let's get him back to where he was. And then he apparently made one more doll for Jarvis to have under his pillow. And it's a Batman doll. And I loved it. I love that. I love the ending. The ending's fun, when it comes to that.
Yeah, the ending is like dun 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 dun.
And you got that little Batman doll right there, right underneath his pillow. But it's just kind of funny. It's like, why would Jarvis actually want to have that under his pillow? Maybe he didn't know. I'm guessing he didn't know that it's under his pillow. But yeah, he's going to be having some bad dreams for a while. But yeah, there you go. There's the episode right there. It's not terrible. It's not a terrible episode. It's got fun moments.
It's just mad.
Yeah.
It's just
kind of like, because you would, and I think it is kind of cool that when you see the title card, if you were to look at the title card, you'd be like, I have no idea what's going on in this episode. You would never guess that it's Mad Hatter. I do like the fact that, if you were watching this fresh, that yes, it would probably click at one point that, oh yeah, Mad Hatter, of course. And again, and then probably the best moment was the Rogues Gallery thing for me. And I think, you bringing up the fact that, when he ripped the garb off and Jarvis was like, well, now he's going to find us. That's a cool little part. Those are cool parts of this episode. But yeah, otherwise it's, it's kind of meh, but it's not terrible. It's not Batman in the basement.
No. we can always go back to Batman in the basement.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not terrible. So, but yeah, I mean, there you go. 65 episodes right there, season 1 that we have discussed. And and one of the things that we said we would probably do also is maybe do pick our favorites. I don't know if we're going to do that season by maybe we should do you think we should do a season 1, let's talk about a top 5 or something like that?
Yeah. I was about to say 5's a good, let's do a top 5 of season 1.
Okay.
And I would also agree that I would treat two-parters. I would treat each part separately because, we've talked about that before where it's like we can prefer one part over the other. But yeah, let's come up with our own, because that will also help, because I'm sure when we get done with season 3, we're going to want to pick our top 10 or top 5 of the entire show. And it would be really helpful if we've already broken this down season by season.
There you go. That'll work. But yeah, that's it, guys. And like I said at the top of the show, give it about 2 weeks. So the 15th, we'll be back here talking about Batman Mask of the Phantasm, which is just on Batman Day when I saw, I think it was the Batman, the animated series, Twitter handle, they posted, of course, when he first gets into the Bat costume. My God. Just so good.
That moment. Oh my God, that movie. I mean, I still say to this day, and so just prepare yourselves. I have said to this day, of all Batman movies,
live action and not,
Mask of the Phantasm is my number 1.
Yeah.
That's the number 1.
Yeah, it's just one of those that's really special. It's been a bit. I think the last time I watched it was when HBO Max first, came about, and I subscribed and it was already on there, and I think I just put it on. But I I was kind of doing other things too, but just, I want to actually sit down and just freaking watch it and just take it all in again. I mean, I still remember, well, we'll talk about it when we get to that. Yes.
Yeah, the last time I saw it, though, it was the 25th. It was the 25th anniversary. Fathom Events released it in theaters.
Nice.
And I went because I missed it. I did not see Mask of the Phantasm in its initial theatrical run.
Yeah, I remember you talking about
so
that.
When they did, oh God, it just pains me. But when Fathom Events did that 25th anniversary release, I was like,
gotta go.
Oh, hell no. I ain't missing it again.
So I still remember my dad was visiting because he had some he was on leave from the army. So he was in California. And yeah, that was it was perfect timing because we were like, we have to see this because me and him watched Batman the animated series all the time. So when it came to that, we were like, yep, there we go. So me and him went to the Carousel Theater over here, or over the hill right there, to watch the movie. And it was like, that's always in my brain when it comes to this. So that was really cool. But yeah, guys, so there you go. That is a wrap for season 1 of Batman the Animated Series, 65 episodes. And yeah, we'll do something, where we talk about like our favorite ones and whatever, even though we could probably guess some of the ones that would be in our top 5 for sure, just by going through.
I mean, I feel like there are some that are just locks at this point. It's kind of cliche to say Heart of Ice is going to be in that.
This is, but maybe we'll have something in there that'll be like, oh, interesting. So, but yeah, do that in like 2 weeks from now on a Saturday, not on a Sunday. We will be, of course, doing Mask of the Phantasm. So you got time to do it. And yep, that's pretty much it. So anything else to say, Scott?
I think that does it for this episode, this season, this evening.
There we go. So go ahead and send us off.
Well, of course, you can find me on Twitter at ScottDC27. You can find my podcast, the DC Squadcast, wherever it can be found, which we just published a new episode last night. Our Scene 2 commentary of Man of Steel, scene by scene, Zod and Jor-El.
Mm-hmm.
So that's also on Vero, Facebook, YouTube, with the entire network of shows at squadcastmedia.com.
There you go, guys. And appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you smash that like, thumbs up before you leave. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you have the notification bell on so you know when I'm doing this stuff. And then, of course, I'll see you guys tomorrow, Film Junkie Live at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, as per usual. And when it comes to this, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. That's right. And that's pretty much it. We love you, and we'll talk to you later.
Your angel of death awaits.
Perfect. Love it. Bye, guys.